Fighting games are kind of a black sheep in the gaming industry. While other games strive for accessible, broad appeal, fighting games double down on performing to their niche audience. They require their players to master their game in and out. When it comes down to it, there's no random RNG, no teammates to blame for not healing. It truly is a mental and physical test of skill between two individuals. This allows for players who know the game in and out to perform truly amazing feats, and can create some of the most entertaining competitive gaming matches to both play and watch. However, this can make it intimidating for newcomers trying to find their way into the fighting game community.
Longtime fighting game fans like me sometimes forget that complex controls that are unique to the genre can be a little difficult for newcomers like Burge.
Yeah, but the nice thing about fighting games is a lot of the concepts and muscle memory can be applied to other games in the genre. So if you just pick one game, you can easily jump around to any of the others.
True, but making it past that initial learning curve can be really tough. That's why I think it's important to pick a game that you're really passionate about. You want to be able to learn the rhythm of the fighting game without getting burnt out in the training room with a character that you end up resenting.
So, whether you're a newcomer trying to decide which game is right for you,
An intermediate trying to pick up a new game,
Or an FGC veteran wanting to see these four idiots get it wrong.
Let's find out what fighting game is right for you.
Street Fighter, the grandfather of the genre. You can't get more classic than this. If your goal is to learn the mechanics of fighting games, this is the obvious pick for you. The Street Fighter series is the backbone of modern fighters in that it literally created the mechanics used by almost all fighting games to this day. Even if you've never touched a fighting game, you've at least probably heard of these characters. I mean, Ryu and Ken are essentially the FGC's caked up equivalent of Mario and Luigi. Whether it's Zangief and his massive thighs from Wreck-It Ralph or Chun-Li by Nicki Minaj, you've more than likely at least heard of one of the characters from this roster.
Yeah, I'm sure the Disney movie, Nicki Minaj, and Sampletex fanbases have massive overlap.
Of all the games in the series, the most recent entry, Street Fighter VI, is a great jumping on point for newcomers. Street Fighter VI set out to fix a lot of the issues that people had with its predecessor, Street Fighter V. Where Street Fighter V had very little content on launch, 6 has a vast array of modes and challenges to complete. While 5's characters' kits felt shallow and empty, 6 characters have a plethora of moves, as well as new mechanics like Drive Rush that add new flavor into the old formula. While 5's visual style looks straight out of one of those early 2000s direct-to-DVD Barbie movies, 6's visuals are... And then Eric, we're gonna put a meme here about how it's looking good. This entry in the series really leans into the name Street Fighter in that in it you fight people on the street. Hold on, humor me. Every move you perform is accented with these colorful splashes of spray paint to evoke graffiti. Each character has an updated style that's more streetwear and aesthetic. And most literal of all, you can just walk up to anyone on the street and fight them. I mean, check this out.
oh my god, Bert, why would you do that?
I thought we would start a fight?
Dude, that lady's like 80 years old and you'd sucker punch her in the back of the head. What did you think was going to happen?
I don't know.
And she's an old
Street
lady.
Fighter.
She's
You fight on the street. That's what you do in Metro City.
You're supposed to
That's what
help
you do in
the lady.
Metro City.
That's an
I've been doing
elderly
this all
person.
day. This
That's
has
an
never
elderly
happened.
person.
Oh my
She's
God,
probably just
please.
going home.
Oh,
She has a
she's
lovely
bleeding.
family,
Oh my God,
Bert.
she's bleeding.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Let her
Fire
go
is here
home.
too.
Her
Oh,
husband
God.
died
I can't
like
go back
2
to
years
jail. I
ago.
can't go back
Just
to jail.
let her go home.
I'm literally pissing my pants.
I don't know, man.
Street Fighter VI has a single-player story mode called World Tour, where you explore the back alleys of Metro City, completing missions and challenging any passerby you meet to a friendly sparring match. While it may be laughably easy for experienced players, it does a great job of explaining the basics to newcomers. Plus, it's fun to see the established characters of this world that are usually so serious and melodramatic get to enjoy their peaceful city life. As your character meets and studies under all these seasoned fighters, you're able to subtly learn each of their unique playstyles and try their special moves out for yourself in a chill and stress-free environment. As much as I understand that playing against tough and experienced opponents can help you improve your skills, I think this easy story mode is perfect for gaining muscle memory for the controls. In my personal opinion, nothing will make you drop a fighting game faster than getting 3-0'd by a sweaty tryhard when you barely remember how to jump. Another tool for new players is modern controls. This is a controversial topic in itself and warrants a longer discussion. And if you want more info on it, check out the video I made about it by clicking here. But put simply, it's an alternative control scheme designed to be a simpler way for newcomers to just pick up and play without learning the precise directional inputs for special moves. This is a great tool for new players to learn the cadence and timing of a fighting game, even before they can properly execute a Hadouken, or a Shoryuken, or a Tatsumaki Senpuku Yaku. I swear I need modern controls for reading this shit. Just know you probably want to eventually learn the classic control scheme if you want to be taken seriously in any competitive setting.
Smash Bros. Is the best-selling fighting game in the world for a reason. It's fun, it's polished, and it's easy to learn. And if you thought Street Fighter's roster was recognizable, this game has everyone in it, including Street Fighter characters. But arguably the main reason that Smash Bros. Is so popular is because of how insanely accessible it is. You have 2 attack buttons, one for basic punches and kicks, and one for special moves, and each direction you point your controller in produces a different attack. Movement is also simplified for the general gaming audience, as instead of the precise, deliberate movements of a traditional fighting game, you're able to run and jump around fluidly, controlling more like a Mario or any other platformer character. That's why this genre of fighting games is called a platform fighter. Add items, stage hazards, and 4-player free-for-alls, and this game really is the most accessible fighting game ever. In fact, it plays more like a party game, which is really what the developers wanted. Until sick freaks like me broke it. Sakurai clutched his pearls in horror as he watched his precious baby of a game become the most frame-perfect, highly competitive, sweaty try-hard fest on the market. All of the features that were supposed to make Melee accessible just made the barrier for entry to play even higher. The fast and precise controls meant that spacing your character for the pixel-perfect combos became nearly impossible without practicing like it was your 9 to 5. The fans are so intent in this game functioning precisely that tournaments even have hidden stealth mods built into the game to perfect minute details that casual enjoyers would never even think to consider.
Holy shit, man, take a breath.
Like the Hebrew god disgusted with what humanity had become, Sakurai seeked to destroy his creation with the Flood.
Oh my god.
Terrible online matchmaking, specifically implementing features to add RNG into the game, sicking Nintendo's lawyers on every single Smash-related tournament. But like cockroaches surviving the fallout of nuclear detonation, these only made Smash fans double down way harder. Secret tournaments thrown together to hide from the watchful eye of Nintendo. Mods completely reworking the game being sent through secret links to avoid cease and desists. Smash fans are the loyalest freaks you'll ever meet, and that's because they love these games. All of this to say is that if you're just looking to have a silly fun time playing fighting games on the couch with friends, Smash Bros. Is the perfect choice for you. But if you want to play at a competitive level, you better be ready to develop arthritis. Or just play Rivals of Aether 2. It's a platform fighter made by fans of Smash who wanted to create a game that was like Melee, but wasn't dictated by Nintendo's strict tournament rules. If you're interested, click on the link that's popping up on your video right now to learn more.
Guilty Gear Strive. This game is part of a subgenre deemed anime fighters, for obvious reasons. But other than the art style, the core component of anime fighters are their fast and flashy aerial combat. While the basic controls of anime fighters share the same DNA with classic footsie fighters, the main thing that sets them apart is being able to dash in the air. And while this may seem like a small change, it creates a whole new style of gameplay that feels less like a grounded brawl on the street and more like a knockout match between two gods. For this reason, another name for the genre is Air Dashers, if you are too embarrassed to admit that you want to play these games to live out your Demon Slayer-inspired power fantasy. Out of all of the games in this genre, Strive is without a doubt the best for newcomers, at least compared to the previous game in the series, Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator 2. And if you think that's hard to say, you should try playing the game. Xrd was one of the most mechanically dense games in the series, and while longtime fans loved it, developer System Works knew that these high learning curve games seriously alienated a whole potential market of series newcomers. With Strive, they focused on cutting the fat off of the characters' movesets and focused on honing what worked. Because of this, you have characters that are much easier to learn and just as satisfying to play. And speaking of satisfying, a huge part of the feel of a game is its visuals and sound design, which Strive does so amazingly. The studio's cel-shaded graphical techniques used in Xrd were perfected in Strive. and each of the characters' designs were, in my opinion, improved in every way. The flashy splashes of color, mixed with the crunchy sound design, makes getting combos in Strive more addictive than ever. And it wouldn't be anime without heaps of melodramatic nonsense voice lines sprinkled on top.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts, heaven, or hell.
Now, if that isn't authentic anime gibberish, I don't know what is. But as I was saying, System Works put great effort into making this game as excessive as possible. While Street Fighter VI took the route of a long, drawn-out story mode meant to slowly hone your knowledge of the game, Strive takes a more direct approach in its tutorials. It has a dojo mode where it explains each mechanic of the game and makes you prove you've mastered it before allowing you to move on. While this can sometimes feel more like studying for a midterm than playing a video game, it is meant to hammer the mechanics of the game into you as quickly as possible so that you jump right into playing it, instead of wandering around punching grandmas for 20 hours.
I said I was sorry.
This focus on accessibility seemed to work, as it's the highest selling game in the series, garnering up to 3 million players in 2024. And with DLC characters like series classic Dizzy and also Lucy from Cyberpunk Edgerunners for some reason, I don't anticipate support for this game slowing down anytime soon.
Okay, mine is cheating since it's technically not out yet, but cut me some slack. I just finished Arcane and this game looks dope. 2XKO is a game using characters from League of Legends. Hey, where are you going? Okay, if it makes you feel any better, it has very little to do with League, and instead uses the style of the characters found in the Netflix show Arcane. That's right, I would never wish playing League of Legends on my worst enemy. You can relax. Outside of this game oozing the same charm and style that makes Arcane such an amazing show, I have 3 main reasons why I would recommend it as your first foray into fighting games. First, it doesn't require any of the difficult directional inputs that are so alienating to fighting game newbies, like myself. Ditching the thumb-breaking motion seen in classic fighting games, 2XKO's combat functions similarly to Street Fighter VI's modern controls. The only difference is everyone is using this control scheme, so now you can play competitively without getting death threats from sweaty, classic control purists. Secondly, the game is a 2v2 fighter. That means in a single match, you'll be playing as 2 different characters. You're then able to switch between the 2, tagging one character out while the other tags in, just like in the WWE. One thing that always bums me out about fighting games is how large and diverse the cast of characters is, but you're usually encouraged to play a single character and stick with them. This 2v2 gameplay encourages you to learn the ins and outs of multiple characters and see which ones you like to play together. Or if you like, you can play with 4 people in teams of 2. That way, if you're getting your butt kicked, you can tag in your buddy and blame the loss on them. And the final reason why I think it's a great choice for your first fighting game is, it's not out yet. While many of the best fighting games have a long lifespan and have a dedicated fan base and tournaments for decades after the release, there really is nothing more fun than the community of a new fighting game. Being able to learn the mechanics of a new game at the same time as everyone else, get hyped as new characters release, and being in the center of a new growing community.
Okay, time to pull back the curtain. This is where the video was supposed to end, but while editing, another fighting game just got announced. So here's our reaction.
Arxis!
What? Guilty Gear Marvel?
No way. Marvel games? What are we looking at here? What?
Oh my god!
Oh my god! It's a fighting game!
Oh my god! I mean, yeah, of course it's a fighting game.
Tag! What?
Oh my god!
Oh, yo! It's Spider-Man!
Cool flip.
Yo! He did?
Is this gonna be like Marvel vs. Capcom?
What the? What? He looks so good!
No one plays Marvel Rivals with me, so we're gonna have to try this.
Oh my gosh! This game's gonna be so
Okay,
fire.
but if I have my boy Jeff, then we're never playing Rivals 2 again. Barbie 4!
Oh! Dude, that's like a new record. How do you control all of that? Peak.
Wait, 4v4? That means all of us could be a team.
And you know what? 4v4 won't be a team that is like the best part of fighting games, you know?
I see it, Bert.
Yeah,
like fighting games.
Yeah, like the community.
We're
Yeah.
kind of convincing ourselves.
Oh man,
at this
I
point.
love you guys.
Oh,
You're the best.
Whoa,
bring
man.
it in.
Whoa, man. Bring it down a few notches.
Oh no! Bring it in! Bring it on! You guys
I
smell
like
great.
Smashing bros, smashing with the bros.
I didn't think fighting game fans were deodorant. You smell great.